Glacier National Park has over 700 miles of trails, but these 3 hikes are like the park's greatest hits. But they aren't easy. They pack in the biggest views, the most dramatic landscapes, and the most wow moments without needing an ice axe or weeks of training. We enjoyed them so much we can't wait to share them with you. Let's get started. We're going to hike through these while asking a series of questions. So for those that are looking for the best hikes, the first question you need to ask is, what makes Grinnell Glacier and Glacier National Park so special? Grinnell Glacier is a journey through every type of scenery Glacier has to offer. You start in the Many Glacier Valley, walking beside Swift Current Lake and Lake Josephine, with water so clear you can see trout swimming below. Waterfalls tumble down from the glaciers high above, while wildflowers turn the meadows into a painter's palette. But higher up, you'll spot bighorn sheep or mountain goats if you're lucky. Then, after miles of anticipation, you crest the final rise and see the glacier spilling into a turquoise meltwater lake, a sight that's both breathtaking and humbling. So now, after seeing these views, your next question might be, how hard is the Grinnell Glacier Trail? The round-trip hike to Grinnell Glacier is about 10.6 miles with 1,600 feet of elevation gain, with most hikers describing it as moderately strenuous. The first half is gentle, but the second half gets steeper and more exposed, with switchbacks and narrow ledges in places. Some can't handle the fear of falling and turn around. But the final approach to the glacier viewpoint often holds snow early in the season. But more recurring, the wind can be strong enough to make you rethink your hat choice and whether you should proceed. Most people complete it in 5 to 7 hours, and you'll want to start early to beat both the crowds and the afternoon thunderstorms. But if you start later in the morning or after, expect two-way traffic the whole way, causing you to rethink your decision and definitely extending your time on the trail. Let's pause a minute and ask the question, what gear do I need for day hiking Glacier National Park? No matter which of these trails you take on, the gear list is the same, and bringing the right items can turn a long day into a great day. Start with bear spray and keep it somewhere you can grab in 2 seconds flat, because this is grizzly country. On your feet, go with sturdy hiking boots or shoes that have solid traction for rocky, muddy, or slick sections. Trekking poles are worth their weight in gold for saving your knees on the way down and giving you extra stability when you're tired. But if you fall, make sure you have a first aid kit, rescue rope, and also bring a flashlight in case you end up on the trail after dark. For clothing, think layers. A moisture-wicking base to keep sweat off your skin, an insulating layer for warmth, and a waterproof shell in case Glacier decides to throw a storm your way. But the sun at higher elevations can be intense, so pack sunglasses, sunscreen, and a hat. If it's cooler, pack gloves. Bring at least 2 to 3 liters of water or more if it's hot in a hydration day pack, and plenty of snacks along with a lunch, because all 3 hikes are long enough to need refueling. Take a compass, paper map, and/or an offline GPS, since cell service is sketchy in most of the park. We'll put examples of what we hike with in the video description. Read it now while you watch for ideas. Every good hiking video needs a dad joke, since it's good to pack fruit when you hike. Why did the orange lose the race? It ran out of juice. Okay, let's get on to our next hike with, is Iceberg Lake and Glacier National Park worth it? Iceberg Lake is one of Glacier National Park's crown jewels and definitely worth the effort it takes to get there. The hike to Iceberg Lake rewards you with stunning, almost otherworldly scenery, including a vibrant turquoise lake nestled in a natural bowl surrounded by towering cliffs that soar 3,000 feet above the water. What makes it truly unique is the presence of floating icebergs that often linger well into the summer months, creating a surreal and breathtaking atmosphere that few hikes can match. But along the way, the trail passes through lush wildflower meadows and subalpine forests where wildlife like moose, deer, and occasionally bears might make an appearance. When you arrive, the tranquil beauty of the lake and the dramatic rock formations make it the perfect spot to rest, have lunch, and soak in the peacefulness of this pristine wilderness. Whether you're a seasoned hiker or just looking for a memorable day in nature, Iceberg Lake offers an unforgettable experience that's absolutely worth every step if you can make it. We'll talk about trail difficulty next, but are you enjoying this walk and talk format? We share all of our national park videos in this way. Subscribe today so the next time you search about Glacier or another park we've been to, our videos will show up at the top of your search results. Okay, back to the questions, and how difficult is Iceberg Lake Trail in Glacier National Park? For the scenery you get, Iceberg Lake is surprisingly approachable. It's 9.6 miles round trip with about 1,200 feet of elevation gain, and the climb is spread out so evenly that it never feels punishing. But note with these hikes that 1,200 feet is like climbing up the Empire State Building. The grade is steady enough that you can keep a comfortable pace without grasping for air. But it's still a long walk, and you'll want decent fitness and a good night's sleep. Most people finish in 4 to 6 hours, but factor in extra time for photos and maybe even a lakeside lunch. This is the least scary of the 3 hikes we will discuss today. And yes, you can take a swim. Just be prepared to make noises you didn't know you could make when you hit the water. Before we get to number 3, what's the best way to enjoy hiking in Glacier National Park? Start early, hike at your own pace, and don't treat the turnaround point as the only goal. The entire trail is the reward. Take time to soak in the views, especially while you return to the trailhead. Listen to the waterfalls and watch for wildlife. If you're in Glacier National Park for several days, space these hikes out so you can recover and fully enjoy each one. We actually took a day off and went into town for a movie. But in Mini Glacier, make sure to stop at the Swift Current Inn for some ice cream or other treat to celebrate your adventure. We've got more to go, but are you getting excited? Share this video with a friend to see who you can get to go with you. Okay, our final hike may be the scariest for those with a fear of heights, but before we get to that question, what makes the Highline Trail in Glacier National Park so special? The Highline Trail is often called one of the most spectacular hikes in America, and for good reason. It hugs the side of the Garden Wall, a sheer alpine ridge with sweeping unobstructed views of Glacier's rugged peaks, glacial valleys, and wildflower-covered slopes that seem to go on forever. From the very first steps, you're walking above the Going to the Sun Road with jaw-dropping panoramas in every direction. The trail is also famous for its ledge section, a narrow path carved into the mountainside where a hand cable offers some extra reinsurance. An adrenaline rush for some, a bucket list moment for others. Wildlife sightings are common here, from bighorn sheep and mule deer to marmots darting between rocks, and in the summer the wildflowers explode in vibrant color. For many hikers, the magic lies in the combination of exposure, scenery, and sheer variety. Every mile offers something new, from sweeping alpine vistas to the optional detour up to the Grinnell Glacier overlook for one of the most dramatic views in the park. But there is no destination to the Highline Trail. It's an immersive, all-day adventure that delivers a front-row seat to Glacier's most iconic landscapes. How challenging is the Highline Trail? Difficulty really depends on how far you go. If you hike to Haystack Pass and back, it's about 8 miles round trip with 800 feet of elevation gain, and it feels moderate for most hikers. Go all the way to Granite Park Chalet, or down the Loop Trail like we did, and you're looking at 12 to 15 miles with more elevation change. That's when it becomes an endurance challenge. For the full hike, plan on 8 or more hours, including shuttle transport back to your car. But there's one short section near the start at Logan Pass with a narrow path and a safety cable bolted into the wall. It's as scary as it looks, and so if you're afraid of heights, you might find yourself walking closer to the inside or abandoning the hike altogether. The trail is fully exposed, so weather can change in minutes. We started in a fog and ended the day with amazing views. We've also heard sunburn and snow are both possible in the same afternoon. For easier hikes in Glacier National Park, watch this video next.